Hello, everyone. So can you hear me? If you can hear me, just give me a thumb in the chat box, okay? Hello, everyone. So if you can hear me, just give me a thumb in the chat box, okay? Great. Thank you. Okay, so we have 2 minutes, and after 2 minutes, we will start our today's lesson. Okay, we just wait 1 more minute. Okay? After 1 more minute, we will start. Okay, I will lower my voice, so I just make sure like you will be better to hear this class. Okay, so how about right now? If that is okay, give me a thumb up and I will start our lesson. Okay. Okay, so how about like this? Double check. So if I use this voice, is that be better for you to hear this class? Okay, so if most of you think this should be better, I will start this lesson. Okay, still not better. Well, okay. Okay, so maybe I will just use a lower voice to make sure that you will be feeling better in today's lesson. Okay, so how about like this? That should be, it is a little better, or it still has Okay, so if you think okay, give me thumb up or give me good, and I will start this lesson. Okay, great. So we'll be okay, great. So if most of you are fine with that, we can start our today's lesson. Okay, so sorry for the late start, and let me do a very simple introduction. And my name is William, and I will bring you guys to have these calculation skills. So today we're just gonna use one lesson to practice multiplication skills. So what is multiplication skills? I think most of you already practice in day one practice, right? So we will quickly go through the first point, key points. And I found most of you are familiar with number pairs. So what is number pairs? You know, 2 and 5, we have 10. 4 and 25, we have 100. And 8 and 125, we have 1000. Okay, so for 3 and 37, what it is, you can type your answer in the chat box. Okay, so that is a special number pair, and we may use in today's lesson 3 and 37, what it is. Okay, great. That is 111. So this is a special number, and we can use this 111 to help us quickly find the multiplication. Okay, and another number pairs. That should be any two-digit number ending with 5. We can find friends with number 2, because as we see, 2 times 5, we have 10, 15, 30, 75, 70, and 55, we can have 110. Okay, so the second key point is finding number pairs. So how to find number pairs in this multiplication? We know when we see 25, we always find 4 in this expression. So do we have 4 in this expression? Okay, for 28, we just need to separate 28, or we divide 28 into 4 times 7. Okay, great. We found a 4 inside. So we can first work out 25 and 4, that is 100. And then times 7, we have 700. So that is how we use number pairs to help us quickly find the answer. And we just move to the next part. So for the next part, it should be very important knowledge in multiplication skills, because we always use this method. No matter like we use this distributive law in this style, or we may use distributive law in an inverse operation. Okay, first, we just focus on this type of distributive law. Okay, when you see this expression, maybe the first feeling about this question is you just add 4 and 100, and you get 104 times 25. But in today's lesson, just promise me, never use long multiplication in today's lesson. So if you use long multiplication, that is not multiplication skills. Okay, no long multiplication today. So we just need to use this way. The reason is, when we see 25, we should have a good friend 4 with 25. Okay, so we have it. But how we can make 4 and 25 as number pairs? So that should be distributive law. Okay, so what is distributive law? That is, we just distribute 25 to the numbers inside the brackets. Okay, so it means we just need to use 25 to times both 100 and 4. Okay, so we remove these brackets. By this law, we have 4 times 25 and 100 times 25. And we know the operation inside the brackets, that is plus. So we put plus here, and we have 100 and 2,500, and we add them together, that is 2,600. That's great. Most of you have the right answer. And in today's lesson, you can follow my steps to find the answer. Okay, so if we use this distributive law in this expression, okay, how we remove this bracket? And we know we need to distribute this outside number 125 to the numbers inside the brackets. Okay, so we will have two multiplications. One is 100 times 125, and the other one is 8 times 125. Okay, here is a question. Think about the question. Which operation I need to put in the middle? Which operation I need to put in the middle? Okay, which operation? We need to put minus here, because if we remove this bracket, we cannot change the operation inside the bracket. Okay, so that is very important. And what we have, that is 1, 2, 5, and we have 00, and we have 1,000. Right, that is a good number pair. And when we do the subtraction, that is 11500. Okay, and we have the answer. So we will use this distributive law to do more practice. And for the first question, 400 and minus 4, and then we times 25. Okay, as usual, maybe you will do the subtraction inside the bracket. You will have 396, and then you will times 25. But in today's lesson, we never use long multiplication, so we just need to remove this bracket by distributive law. Okay, so the first step, remove the bracket. We just need to use 400 times 25, and then we need to use 4 times 25, because we just need to distribute this outside number with both two numbers in the bracket. Okay, we need to keep the operation in the middle. So that is 1/10,000 minus 100. And what is the answer? That is 9,900. Am I right? Okay, so we don't use long multiplication, but we can quickly find the answer. So how about the next question? 25 times, okay, in this question, we have 3 numbers inside. If we have 3 numbers inside, can we still use distributive law? Of course, we can. Okay, we can still remove this bracket and distribute this outside number with each number in the bracket. Okay, so the first is 100 times 25, and the next 40 times 25. And the third multiplication should be 8 times 25. And don't forget, we need to keep the operation inside. So that should be minus and plus. Okay, and we keep doing. So that is 2,500. And the next multiplication, it should be quite easy. That is 1,000, right? So for the next 8 times 25, that is 200. Okay, so we can just do one more step. we will find the answer. That is 1,700. Great. Most of you is much more clever than me. You quickly have the answer. So that is 1,700. Okay. So for this learn and discover, we will do one more step on distributive law. So how about this type of question? If you meet 37 times 23, you will use long multiplication, right? But in today's lesson, I will tell you another way to do this multiplication. Okay, when we have 37, do remember that number pair, 37 times 3, we have 111, right? So 23, do we have 3 inside? Of course, we have. If we just divide, or if we just separate 23 into 20 add 3, we will have this number. So that is distributive law, right? So we remove this bracket, that is times 20 times 3, and the first part, 740, and the next part, 111. We add them together, we have 851. Okay, so how about the next part? Next question is another type of distributive law. You just need to build your own distributive law. So when you meet 99, 199, that is too close to hundredth number, 100, 200. So for this 99, that is too close, 100. So I just change 100 minus 1. So that we can use distributive law to remove this bracket. That is 48 times 100, take away 48 times 1. Okay, great. 4,800 and take away 48. So right now we will have the final answer, 4752. Great. Most of you can find the right answer. So I will move to the next question. And here we will have 2 practice. And you can quickly have your answer and type your answer in the chat box, okay? So we can have a competition who can quickly find the answer, okay? So 26 times 99, 26 times 100, take away 1, right? So that is 26 times 100, and minus 26 times 1. So that is 22,600 minus 26. We will have 2,574. Okay, whoa, you're too smart. Okay, we will move to the next question. Next question, we have 304 times 25. Okay, 425, that is a good friend. So we just change 304 into 3, add 4. And then with times 25, we will have 300 times 25 add 4 times 25. So that should be 7,500 add 100. That should be 7,600. Great. Excellent job. You most have the right answer. Okay, so I will move to the next part. So in this part, I will give you some key points in distributive law. So the first step, So the first step, when we have distributive law, we can remove this bracket and we just distribute this outside number with each number in brackets. And the most important is we need to keep the operation inside. And the second step, take the numbers apart and then use the distributive law. So when we find number pairs, 37 and 3, okay, we just divide 23 into 20 and 3. And when we find some rounding numbers like 39, we just change 39 as 40, take away 1. We can still use distributive law to quickly have the answer instead of long multiplication. Okay. So how about the next practice? The next practice, that is the most important question in today's lesson, because in your homework or like in your day one practice, I found some of you are confusing about how to use the right method to quickly find the answer in this type of question. Okay, so I will tell you, this type of question, that is an inverse application of distributive law. The reason I use inverse application is when we do distributive law, we just distribute the outside number to the number in the brackets. And in this type of question, that is to find the common factor. So what is common factor? The same number in both expressions. Okay, so in this question, we both have 37. So that means we can just take 37 and then put 88 and 12 inside the bracket. If that makes sense? Okay, so if you can understand this part, that is an inverse application of distributive law. When we find common factor in 2 or 3 expressions, we can just take this common factor out and then put other numbers in the bracket. Okay, so when we do this part, we have 37, and what is the sum of 2 numbers? That is 100. And the answer for this question, that is 3,700. Right. So we cannot. So we don't need to use long multiplication. We can still find the answer. Okay. How about the next one? So the next question, first step, find the common factor. Find the common factor. So the common factor for those 2 expressions, that is 18. So that means we can just take this 18 out and put other numbers inside the bracket. Okay, and the most important is when we put other numbers inside the bracket, we need to pay attention. We need to keep this operation inside the bracket. Okay, so that is 18 times 100. We can still have the right answer, that is 1,800. Okay, that is the second question. And in the third question, we will have 3 expressions. And when we do the 3 expressions, we need to pay attention. We have 33 here, but that means 33 is 33 times 1. Okay, if I give you this hint, how we solve this problem? First step, find the common factor. What is common factor? What is common factor in this expression? We all have 33 in these 3 multiplications, right? Okay, so we just extract the 33. And then we just need to put other numbers in brackets. Okay. Right now, I will put other numbers in brackets. And also pay attention, we cannot change the operation. we need to keep this true operation inside the bracket. Okay, right now we have 33 times bracket 126, take away 27, add 1. So what is the answer of this part? We will have 100, right? So 33 times 100, we will have 3,300, right? I still don't use long multiplication to help me solve this question, but I think this way should be the best way to have the answer, right? Okay. Next question. Next question. We will have true multiplication here, and we add them together. Okay. Well, in previous question, we can find common factors, and then we can use some inverse of application of distributive law to find the answer. But in this question, do we have any common factors right now? We don't have any common factors, but we do have some connections. Okay, 36 and 18. 36 is 2 times 18. So it may, like, we can just change something to give 2 on this 18 to change this 18 into 36. And then we can use finding common factor. And also, if we just divide the 36 into 2 times 18, we can still have 218 in this two multiplications. Okay, so I just prefer to divide 36 into 2 times 18. Okay, so that is 2 times 18. So if we have this part and we change this multiplication, what we have, okay, we want to keep this 18 to have common factor. So we just need to time this 2 with the 31. We have 62. Okay, right now we have 32 times 18 and 38 times 18. We will have same number in 2 multiplications. And then we just combine these 2 numbers and extract this 18 out. And we have 80 times 18. And what is 80 times 18? That is 1,440. Okay. So in this question, that is a little challenging. We don't have common factors in original expressions, but after we change something, we will find true multiplication with same number. Okay, and we will practice this rule, this method in this question. Okay, and 3, I think it should be 38, and that should be 100, and the answer should be 1,800. Okay, thank you guys, my bad. Okay, so we can use this rule to find the answer about the next question. 74 times 54 and minus 48 times 27. Okay, 54, 74, 48, 27. Which two numbers may have some connections to let us do some change to find same number or common factor? Okay, you can type your number in the chat box. Which two numbers may have some connections. Okay, great. 54, 27. And 54, that is 2 times 27. Okay, thank you. So we can just change this part as 74 times 2 times 27 and minus 48 times 27. Okay, we should keep these two numbers because they are common factor. So I will do the first part, that is 148 times 27 minus 48 times 27. Okay, we can take 27 out. 27 times 148 minus 48. We put other numbers inside the bracket. And then we will have 27 times 100. And that is 2,700. So that's crazy, right? We don't use long multiplication, but we can still work out this question. But the key point is we need to find some connections to help us find common factor. When we find some common factors and we do some change, okay, we can use inverse application of distributive law to help us quickly find the result. Okay, the next question is how we use this rule to find the answer. And you can try this question by yourself. And when you work out the answer, you can type your answer in the chat box. The first one is 29 times 8, 42 times 4. That should be quite easy, right? We have 8, we have 4. They should have some connections. And I will change 8 into 2 times 4. Okay, so that is 29 times 2 times 4. And we keep the rest part. And how about 29 times 2? That is 58 times 4 at 42 times 4. We have 4 as a common factor. Okay, we just take this common factor out. And we combine the rest numbers in brackets. That is 58 at 42. And inside, that is 100. So that is 4 times 100, and we have 400. Okay, so the next question, 58 times 30, 84 times 15. So 30, 15, we still have some connection, right? And we just divide 30 into 50 times 2. 58 times 2 times 15 at 84 times 15. And what is 58 times 2? 116 times 15 at 84 times 15. Do we have common factors? Of course, we have. 15 is common factors. So that is 15 times the other numbers. They should be in bracket. Okay, we should put them in bracket. And what is the result in the bracket? That is 200. Okay, 15 times 200, we have 3,000. Okay, and we move to the third question. And for the third question, we have 6, we have 3. And we should have some connection. That means we can just divide 6 into 3 times 2. Okay, I think I need to change the order to help you find some connection. Times 2 times 3 at 152 times 3. Okay, we need to keep this common factor. And we add, and we do the other part, that is 148 times 3. and add 152 times 3. So, do we have common factor? When we do this type of question, you can always ask yourself, do we have common factor? If we have common factor, we can use this inverse application of distributive law to simplify this calculation. So, we just extract these 3 and put the other numbers inside the bracket. And we have 3 times 200, we have 600. Okay, we only have this question. 52 times 13 adds 16 times 39. So is there any connection in these 4 numbers? Okay, we have 13, we have 39, so that we should have changed 39 into 3 times 13, right? Okay, thank you. So this part, we should have 300, okay? We should have 300, and we have the answer 900. Okay, so pay attention about our calculation. Don't do the mistake like me, okay? So we just keep doing this question. We have 52 times 13, and that is 48 times 13. So we just have some common factor. When we have common factor, we can extract this common factor and put other numbers inside the bracket. So that is 13 times 100, right? That is 1,300. We don't use long multiplication. We can still find the answer, right? And what we do is change some factors or change some numbers to make these 2 multiplication both have same factor. And we can use this method, right? Okay, great. And I do have one more challenge question for you. And the previous questions, we always do the calculation in integers. And in this question, we will combine some decimals. And then we still need to use what we learned in today's lesson, distributive law or inverse application of distributive law. So in the first question, we have 3 multiplications here. And first step, do we have common factor? Do we have common factor in these 3 multiplications? Of course, we have 1.8, although we don't have 1.8 in the last multiplication. It doesn't matter. We can first work out the first 2 multiplication, and we extract this 1.8 and put the other 2 decimals in my bracket. And we just keep the third part. So what is the result inside the bracket? That is 1 times 7.9. Right, we have 7.9 here, and we keep doing 7.9 times 8.1. Okay, although we don't have common factor in 3 multiplications, but when we do some calculation on first 2 parts, we will have another same factor, right? That is 7.9. Okay, so this time I will extract this 7.9 and put the other numbers in the bracket. And what is the result inside the bracket? That should be 10, right? So that is 7.9 times 10. We will have 79. Okay, great. So in this challenge question, what we do is when you find same number or when you find common factor, just do these two parts. Maybe after you work out this part, you will find another common factor to help you quickly find the final answer. Okay. The last challenge question in today's lesson. So many multiplications in this question. And we have like 14.37, 9.37. Oh, that is crazy. How we can solve these expressions without long multiplication? Okay, we just need to find some ways to help us. Okay, and do you remember what we need to do is find common factor? If we cannot find any common factors in those multiplications, we need to find some connections. Do we have some connections? Of course, we have. We have this 14.7. We have this 1.437. It means if we do some change, we may have same common factor. Okay, so I will first do this part. 14.37 times 7.88. And I need to add this multiplication. But what we need is 1437. Can we have 1437 from this multiplication? Okay, what we need to do is if we just change this decimal into 14.37, okay, what we should do is to divide another 10. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay, if we want to have 1437, we need to use 1437 divided by 10 to have this number. And we keep timing 21.2. Okay, and we will write down the other part. We do have many multiplication here, but we can just do one step by one step. Okay, and we just need to keep 1437 times 7.88. And this part, okay, we need to keep 14.37. Okay, it means we should combine those two numbers. Okay, if I combine those two numbers, 21.2 divided by 10, what is the result? That is times 22.12. Okay, and I will keep writing the other multiplication. Well, in the first two parts, we have same common, that is 14.37. And then we can combine other two numbers in the brackets. Okay. We just finished the first two parts. And how we can handle the other two parts? We have 9.37. We have 93.7. It means we can do some change to have same number or common factor. Okay, I will do the change like this. I hope we can have 9.37. Okay, so the first multiplication, I will keep writing 9.37 times 7.38. Okay, how we can handle the last multiplication to have 9.37? Think about it. How we can work out 93.7 to have 9.37. That is 9.37 times 10. We can have 93.7, right? So it means we just divide 93.7 into 9.37 times 10 times 0.262. Okay, we keep doing this part. 1437 times what is inside, that should be 10. Okay, and how about the other two parts? That is 9.37 times 7.38 minus 9.37 times 10 times 0.262. We will have 2.62, right? Okay. First part, 143.7 minus how we can handle the last two parts. Okay, we will have this 9.37. That is the same number. That is the same number, right? We can extract this 9.37 and put other two numbers inside the bracket. Okay, so how we can put these two numbers inside the bracket? So here is a question. Which operation we need to put inside the bracket? Okay, you can just type your answer in the chat box. Which operation I need to put inside the bracket? Okay, we can think about this question. If we combine those two numbers, in the bracket. Okay, plus or minus. Plus or minus. Okay. Okay, I think maybe some of you do this minus. But I will tell you, we should put plus inside the bracket. And the reason we put plus inside the bracket. Okay, think about this question. If we do 10 minus 2 minus 5, if we put 2 and 5 inside the bracket, which operation we need to put inside the bracket? It should be plus, right? So we can use addition inside the bracket. Okay, we can just keep doing 9.37 times 10. Okay, that should be quite easy for us. What is 9.37 times 10? That is 93.7. Okay. Do you know how to work out 147? 93.7. That is 50. Right. That is 50. And after we're doing this, after we're doing lots of steps, we can have this result. And in those steps, we never use long multiplication. But I know this question is quite challenging and quite confusing. And that is a practice, like how we can combine this distributive law with decimals or with integers, and how we use inverse application of this distributive law. And we need to find some common factors. When we find common factors or the same number in expressions, okay, we can still use this inverse application of this to help us quickly find the answer. Okay, and the last part, we can do a very simple summary about the last two questions. The first one is use common factors. In this expression, we have 37 in the common. And we have 37 in the common, we can extract this 37 and put other two numbers in the bracket. And we should keep this operation. And how to find common factors in this type of question. Although we don't have common factors in the original expressions, but we still have some numbers with connections, right? So we just do some change on some numbers to make these expressions have common factors. And in this, we have 34. And maybe if you want, you can separate 34 into 17 times 2. And you will find 17 will be the common factor. So either way, it would work for you to quickly find the answer instead of long multiplication. Okay, so that is what I want to share with you about multiplication skills. And after this, you can just review the day one practice. Maybe some of questions, you can use another way to quickly find the answer. So good luck. And tomorrow, bye.